Kim. Welcome back to my channel. Glad to have you here today. I'm wearing my The North Remember shirt because Game of Thrones, yes, that premiere was awesome. Anyway, today we're going to do a bakery sign craft using wood and paint. Up until recently, above my stove in my kitchen, I had this sign that I made a couple years ago. It's winter themed. How to make it is on my blog, including the free cup file. But anyway, it's not winter anymore, so I figured it was time to change things up a bit. And I was recently at the craft store, and all of a sudden, all these craft supplies just started, I don't know, jumping into my cart. This wood sign, well, without the paint on it, just said, hey, buy me. So it was 50% off. How could I refuse a deal like that? Besides, I did need something new to go above my stove. So let's see what I made. Let's get started. Since I wanted my sign to have a worn vintage look, I started with some black acrylic paint. And what I did was I painted the entire wood plaque with the black acrylic paint. This is what I call the base coat. This is one of the tricks of getting that worn look, is layering your paints. I probably used maybe about one layer of acrylic paint. If you don't have acrylic paint, you can use chalk paint as a substitute. Make sure you get all of the edges and all of the sides. Make sure everything's covered. And then I printed out my baked goods sign on my Cricut, cut it out with the vinyl, and I placed the vinyl on the plaque. Now it's all blended in. You can't see it, but the vinyl is there on the plaque. So now I'm using my white acrylic paint and I'm painting over the Cricut vinyl. This is the second layer. If you want your sign to be more white, you're going to make the part over the baked goods sign more white. Just layer it. I didn't want mine to be that way. I wanted it to look worn, so you'll see that I didn't apply too much of the white. Make sure you get on the insides. And if you applied your vinyl properly, you shouldn't have any leakage when you cover it with the white acrylic paint. Make sure it's dry. And add the white paint around the frame, just a tad. If you want more, you can do that. And hey, I couldn't find my Cricut tweezers, so I just grabbed my beauty tweezers. Lovely, right? But it's time to remove that vinyl that we painted over. Now, if you don't have vinyl, you can use freezer paper and make a stencil using the cut file. That's a nice cost-saving way of making this sign. Now for me, this is of course the part that I hate, because you have to go, I feel like, oh, I just put all of this on, now I have to pull it all up. But it's better than spending $100 or more on a farmhouse sign. Instead, I'm saving money by making it myself. And when you pull your vinyl off, if you find that there's any errors, you can always go back in there with a black Sharpie and maybe sharpen up the letters if you want to. I only had to do that in one area and you don't even notice it. You can also, if you have a steady hand, go back in there with a paintbrush and cover up the letters if you find that they're not the way you want them. Look at all of that vinyl in my hand. And if you, after you remove the vinyl, if you want to give your sign more of a worn look, take a fine piece of sandpaper and just go over it once or twice and make it look a little bit more worn. I did just 1 or 2 strokes over mine. And then make sure that the area is clean. And then you start the next process. I'm using DecoArt's gel stain in walnut color. We're going to basically fake a frame by coating the outside with this color, and I put on 1 or 2 layers and you let it sit. Then you use a rag to wipe it off, and if you want it a little bit darker, you can apply as many layers as you need to. And this makes it look like it's real wood. I love cheap tricks like this. And if you're unsure where to find any products, head over to the blog because I've linked to them in the blog post. And this is how our project turned out. What do you think? Not bad for under $10, right? And these farmhouse signs sell for a lot more, but you can get this look too if you just make sure you layer your paints and let them dry in between. And you don't have to use vinyl to make this sign. You can use contact paper as a stencil, or you can use the printable, which I'm going to give you on the blog, to transfer to wood using a photo transfer liquid like Mod Podge. So there are lots of different ways you can make this, but I love it. What do you think? Perfect for my kitchen. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hang this. So appreciate you guys watching, and give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.